Hi, I'm Michael Fagan, the fitness guru. This is A Healthy Pause. A few years ago, New York Magazine ran an article called, "Does Exercise Really Make Us Skinnier?" The article kind of got under my skin, enough so that a couple years later I'm still talking about it. And the whole idea of the article was that as much as we exercise, it can't make us skinnier. And they were showing lots of different studies where they would take marathon runners who were training for X number of months and their body composition wouldn't change no matter how hard they were training. And the point was that no matter how hard you exercised, that would also increase your appetite and therefore exercise wouldn't make you skinny. The reason that this drove me nuts is because it was basically giving people carte blanche to stop exercising. You know, a lot of people get into exercise to lose weight. And weight is a major issue in this country right now. But what bothered me about it was that it was very linear thinking. Nobody was thinking about the grander scheme. They were really only thinking about, does exercise make us skinny? And the fact of the matter is, no. Exercise alone, if you just go out and exercise, that's not going to make you skinny. You've got to think about the entire battle and how you're going to fight that battle. And it's all a question of calories. No matter how you discuss the topic, it's really a question of calories in versus calories out. Here's what I mean. If you're exercising for an hour and you burn 500 calories, and then you go home and you eat 550 calories, you're still up 50 calories. In the course of the day, we have to have a calorie deficit. We're going to burn calories with what we do, with how we move, with how we think. Even when we sleep, we're burning calories. When we exercise, we're burning more calories. Now, the problem with things in society today are we don't really move around all that much. You know, we can sit at our desk and we can have lunch brought into us simply by picking up our mobile phone and texting the order to the local deli. We don't have to get up, we don't have to move from office to office, we can IM each other, we can email. And so the amount of movement that we have in a day isn't as much as it used to be. We used to actually have to get up in the morning, pick up our spear and our bows and arrows and go out for a run and hunt the food that we ate. Not so today. So already we're talking about not burning as many calories as we used to. That's a major problem. Now, when we exercise, New York Magazine does have a point. Yes, it increases our appetite. The question is, how do we fill that appetite? What are we eating? What are we consuming to make up for all those calories that we've burned? If we go home and we down a pint of Ben & Jerry's ice cream, and there are a lot of you who do that, you know, you go to the gym, you go to a really difficult spinning class, you come out of the spinning class and you think, I deserve some kind of treat. I owe it to myself. So you go and get yourself a candy bar, or you give yourself ice cream for dinner, or you do something that you consider the treat. Those are extra calories, and not only are they extra calories, but they're not really high quality calories. In other words, if you were to eat 100 calories of ice cream and 100 calories of broccoli, I know broccoli is not the best dessert, but just follow me on this. Your body is going to expend a certain number of calories to break that ice cream down and to break the broccoli down. The body is going to expend far more calories to break down the broccoli because it's a whole food and it's a little tougher to break down in the digestive system than it is for ice cream or any processed food. So in other words, at the end of the day, of those 100 calories, your body is taking on more than it would with the broccoli 100 calories. And the way it's taking it on, particularly when it's sugar-based processed food, is the body starts to convert it into fat. So all that work that we do in the gym to try and burn off that fat, we sabotage by going out and eating the wrong foods, even if it's just 100 calories. So when you hear a linear argument about how exercise doesn't help get you thinner, take a step back, think about it. It's not linear. If you want to lose weight, the most important thing is to keep track of how you're exercising and how many calories you're burning, and then also have knowledge of what you're putting back into your system to fill out those calories that you've burned. If you're starting to work with a deficit, fantastic, you're going to find that the weight comes off. But if you're not working in a deficit, or even more importantly, you're putting the wrong foods back into your system to try and fulfill that hunger that you have, you're going to find that the weight never really changes. The great thing about diets is it gets us to focus on what we're eating, even the most absurd diet. I had a friend, Kathy, years ago who lost a lot of weight using what she called the frozen yogurt diet. She would go out to the frozen yogurt store 3 or 4 times a day and get a medium frozen yogurt, and that's all she ate. Am I advocating the frozen yogurt diet? Absolutely not. But Kathy got into a very regular habit of putting a certain number of calories into her system, and consequently, the weight came off. foolish calories, not the way that you want to do it. But any diet is going to give you that advantage. If you start keeping track of what you're eating and how much you're eating of it, then you're going to find that you have a lot more control over how many calories you're taking in over the course of the day and how many calories you're expending. And if you're making those calories sensible, you're going to find the weight comes off. If the calories are foolish, you're going to find yourself like Sisyphus, who pushed the rock way up to the top of the mountain just as he almost got to the top, the rock would go rolling back down again. And it's very frustrating for us. And that's why people become very frustrated with weight loss plans and weight loss ideas, because they feel like they can gain no traction. They can make no headway. So yes, exercise is very important. It's important for our hearts, our lungs. It's important for our psyche. It makes us feel better. Emotionally, we feel more powerful. But to add to that, you have to get a very healthy diet going. A very sensible, healthy diet consisting, hopefully, of mostly whole foods and avoiding processed foods. And that's how the weight is going to come off. Anything else is going to be a quick fix. It's going to be a silver bullet. And you might find that the weight comes off in the short term, but it's going to bounce right back and come right back on you. And that's going to be even more frustrating than pushing that rock up that hill. All right? If you have any questions about this, shoot me an email, michael@fitnessgurunyc.com. I'm Michael Fagan, the Fitness Guru. This has been A Healthy Pause. Check in with us again real soon.